Noble.com.
This is Business 1110.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff,
Come on, Nikki.
management, or ownership of this station.
But it should.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guy that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hot mics.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio. 713-785-1817 is our call-in number. Let me turn my computer down. Rookie mistake.
Anybody can do this.
Right. And that brings up a good point. So many people wait till they are an expert at something before they get started. And, you learn the most in the doing. Now, what I'll tell you is that typically what you want to have is...
Hey, welcome to the show.
That's you, right?
You were saying?
Yeah, rookie mistake. Yeah, exactly. So, most people wait until they know everything about a subject before they get started. And so, therefore, oftentimes they never get started. And I know when we started the radio show, in February it'll be 3 years been on the radio. And I feel like I'm better today than I was a month ago, better a month ago than I was the month before that, et cetera, go back. So, I've got, you can never get 3 years of experience doing something until you have that very first day. And you're always nervous.
But you could read it from a book.
Yeah, right.
Not the same.
It's not the same. It's really not. So, and then people ask, well, how do you find something to talk about every day on the radio? And it's like, well, I talk about what it is that we're doing. We're actually doing real estate. We talk about the deals. Now, for today, I want to talk about two things. One is, I know for a lot of people, the Turkey Day hangover, and, I had a great chance to be with my mom and my dad and two of my brothers and their spouses, and, had a great time, and, spent it down in Pearland. My younger brother, he cooked the whole thing all by himself.
Nice.
Yeah, he likes to cook. That's one of his deals, and, he did a great job, so thanks, Chris. And then, but I got done with Turkey Day and watched an incredible game Saturday night. I mean, for those of y'all that missed the A&M LSU game,
I knew you were going to be over the moon about that.
Yeah, 74, 72.
Not a dull moment.
Yeah, there was not a dull moment in the entire game. So that was exciting. And then, but a lot of people are like, oh my God, they've got the Monday blues, right?
Yeah.
But I was so excited. We're gonna have a big meeting tomorrow. And, we're working on a big project in one of our businesses.
Yes.
And I think you're excited. I'm excited. And when you wake up excited to go do what you do, because one of the things that I'm excited about doing is changing other people's lives.
Yes.
And when you start talking to people and you see people that are putting their head down and just grinding it out, day in and day out, going to a job that they like but don't love, that pays them well, and it's almost like, they have the golden handcuffs on, and they're like, this is going to be my life for the next 20 years. Yeah. And then when they realize that, hey, they're 5 years away from that not having to be. Now, if they want to continue, there's a difference between wanting to get up and
Absolutely.
Go do something and having to. And so we are consistently putting people on a path that it's allowing them to take action, allowing to hold their hand, let them produce the results. I was meeting, we had that meeting over off of Kirby.
Yeah. And
explaining to somebody like, hey, what is it? I always love that. What do y'all do?
Yeah.
And you start walking people through it, and they're like, well, why do you do that? And like, I don't think they get that we really like making a difference in other people's lives.
So the guy, marketing expert, beautiful place. You could tell he'd been doing it for a long time, and he knew exactly what he was doing. But he when we explained our model to him, he was very confused in the fact that, well, that doesn't seem like it's enough for you guys. Why are y'all doing that? It doesn't seem like you guys are getting enough out of it.
Right.
But he's quantifying that with dollars.
Right.
When you have a purpose, it's a completely different ballgame.
Yes.
You talked about being excited to be here. Like, I'm pacing the halls here.
Yeah, right.
Before anybody shows up today, I don't have a key to every office, so I'm like, where is everybody?
That'll change, right.
I can't wait to get started, right?
Right.
And it's like that for me all weekend. And my wife was looking for a new church in our area because we just recently moved to Tomball.
Sure, right.
So she posts on Facebook trying to find one, right?
Right.
And it quick story, but it all tied in really well. It ended up being we found a church. They're still in a high school. They haven't grown big enough to get their own place yet.
Right.
But the guy is a neighbor of ours,
What?
5 houses down. Caleb had their son was being bullied on the bus.
Yeah.
And Caleb, my son, a couple years older,
stepped up,
took
hey,
care of him, and
that,
has been helping him get to the bus and not have any problems and things like that. So,
and that's the pastor's son?
And that's the pastor's son.
Oh,
so
wow.
we connected all that after the service.
Wow.
But during the service, it was one of the best services I've ever seen. But he was talking about having a purpose in life.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
And the whole, it was just like the perfect message for where we are and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And, I tried to put myself in the shoes of somebody that doesn't have a purpose.
Right.
Right. And how they needed that message even more than me. But for me, it was a confirmation message.
Right.
That I'm on the right track, that what I'm doing is the right thing, and that we're in the right spot. And I just can't wait to be able to do more of it.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about how can somebody be 5 years away from being retired with single-family real estate? Walk me through that.
It's all about condensing the time horizon of money.
Yes.
What we realize is that the conventional way of thinking, work for 40 years, put everything in an IRA, a 401k.
Right. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not saying don't.
No,
one of the things I love about 401ks, especially, is you work for a big company or any size company really, and you have the employer-employee matching program.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
they say, hey, so let's say you're making $100,000 a year, and they say you can put up to. We'll match up to 3% at 100%. So you put 3%, which is $3,000 a year. They're going to match that. So you've immediately turned $3,000 of savings into $6,000.
That's a good return.
I mean, that's even if the stock market would have to drop 50% for you to break even on that deal.
Yeah.
And then if it did that, then next year your 3% would be double the amount, right?
But the key for me there is savings.
Yeah, right.
You mentioned the word savings, and oftentimes people try to figure out a way to save their way to retirement.
Yes.
And can you do that? Yes. But what you don't realize is when you get to retirement, you're going to be taking a major step down in lifestyle.
Yes.
You can survive, but there's a difference between surviving and living.
Yeah.
Right?
So, I call it surviving versus thriving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So can we show people a way in 5 years to do what conventional wisdom is teaching them to do in 40 years?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where does somebody go to find that out?
You would start at rightpathrealestate.com. Obviously, we do an event on Tuesday
it'll be
evening
tomorrow,
at 6:30. We'd love to have you out. Go to the events tab and register for that there.
So that's rightpathrealestate.com, rightpathrealestate.com. Go to the events tab, register. We have a couple of spots available for tomorrow. That's at 6:30.
6:30.
But get here at 6.
I'd get here at 6. Just the traffic on I-10, you never know what it's going to be like.
The sad thing for me is we start, because we want to be respectful of the people that are there on time. So we start at 6:30. We end at 6:30. At 7:30. And then, people invariably, they'll plan on being here at 6:30, and they go, oh my gosh, there was an accident on I-10. I'm like, well, yeah, there's pretty much every day, 5, 6 o'clock traffic, there's an accident somewhere on I-10. It's going to take you longer than you expected, and then people show up at like 7:15
and want us to do it all over.
And I'm like, man, that's tell you what, come back noon on Thursday, or come back next week, and because we want to share the message, but people. They say half the battle in winning is showing up, right?
Absolutely.
But it's not just showing up, it's showing up on time.
Yes.
Right? That's an important factor, because I tell you what, that discipline will affect other disciplines. Because here's what will happen is, there'll be a great deal. It'll get emailed to you, or an agent will call you, hey, got this great deal. And one of the things I learned is successful people answer their phone, unsuccessful people don't. And so, you don't answer your phone. And then, lo and behold, because you have this attitude of like, well, I don't have to show up on time. I don't have to respond quickly. I don't have to. Another thing that we've discovered is successful people make decisions quickly.
Yep,
unsuccessful people make decisions slowly.
Yes.
Successful people rarely change their mind. Unsuccessful people, they'll make a decision, they change it, really, really fast. Yeah. So they start studying what success leaves clues. And what will happen is a deal will show up, and you're like, well, I got to think it over, and then boom, somebody that's an action taker buys a deal. They're $20,000 out of pocket. They capture $50,000 in equity, so they turn 20 into 50. I mean,
so we had a deal last week.
Yeah.
It was last week. It was no, I guess it was the week before last.
Right, sure.
Right before the holiday week, the Friday before Thanksgiving. It was a great deal.
Yeah, right.
I put it out there. Now we didn't have the availability to show it until the week following.
Correct.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I had a lot of people interested in this deal right away. I was just trying to get the people that were interested so we could plan ahead and schedule. Right. Lo and behold, Action Taker comes along.
Yep.
Right. He says,
I don't need to see it.
I see that there's 78 pictures there.
Yeah, right.
You've covered every corner of the house.
Yeah, right, yeah. And different than a typical retail agent, like one of the things that I hate about retail agents is they hide the flaws. Like they're going to try, I mean, like nobody's going to show up and find those things. But wouldn't it be nice if agents really wanted to show the flaws so that you could make decisions based on the pictures?
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that we do. We
absolutely. I'm trying to save time.
Right, absolutely.
So this guy, he says, "Hey, I don't need to walk the house. I want it now.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Put earnest today. We'll close in 48 hours.
Yeah,
right.
And he did.
So then he did, and then the whole following week, I'm answering the phone calls.
Well, why didn't
for the people that were waiting?
When are we going to see it?
Hey, can we see it?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry,
it's already gone. Yeah.
Right. Well, how did that happen?
Somebody stepped up and took action.
Stepped up and took it. Right.
Yeah.
So,
good deals go fast.
They do.
You know, that's one of the things. If you ever see a house sitting on the market and it's 7, 8, 9 months, if it's 90 days, that might be slightly overpriced or might be in a higher price point or something like that. Because there's, I know I was looking at a particular zip code just recently, and only 60 houses sold in that entire zip code in the last year.
Oh wow!
Excuse me, last month. Sorry. Okay. And look in the peak month
in the entire zip code.
In the entire zip code, 60 houses sold, which is not that many.
No, not at all. Not for a whole zip code.
Not for a whole zip code, right? So, hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. I'm joined live in the studio with Daniel Gollinger, and it's 713-785-1817 is our phone number. 713-785-1817. Right Path Real Estate. We'll be right back after the break.
Mike's off.
What's going on, Elijah? Nira, Ashley, Sabra, Matthew.
That's my mom.
I know that.
Yeah, it's my mom.
I didn't want to call her mom because we hadn't
What's up, Mom?
that close yet.
Yeah.
What's going on, Henry?
Hey, Tim.
Charles, Jacob. What's up, Rob? Matthew.
Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed?
What up,
Matt
Steve?
Downs holding down the Corpus Christi market
with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair
What's up, Ben?
escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned.
What's going on, Daniel?
Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Fast Track Remodeling.
Redneck Country Club.
742.
Hey, Rob, I still got a coupon, man. It's about 2 years old. I don't know if it's any good anymore. But I sure have been craving some of your barbecue, brother.
Specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects.
Nigga.
Us to create our 3 keys to success.
What up?
Use
nothing. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for you.
Train and maintain.
I'm excited too, but nervous. But I'm excited.
Don't be nervous.
Complete the work.
If you're out of your comfort zone, then you're in the right area.
No more managing it yourself.
You know what I mean?
No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really.
Hey, Rob, I'll hit you up soon, man.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
All right, 2 minutes.
Money in a real estate
2 minutes hurt.
If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281.
Jacob, what's up, man? I saw that house that y'all just finished. It looks good, dude.
281-569-4353.
Y'all did a good job on that.
Online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate.
All right, we got 45 seconds.
45 seconds, heard.
Want me to wait for time? I can play another commercial.
Nah, just roll
all
it.
50 states.
Okay.
In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy, today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800.
Tom, we got 30 seconds.
4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741 and mention Right Path Real Estate.
This is Business 1110.
All right, Daniel, you ready?
Yeah. Tom,
All
we're
right,
going
here we
live.
go. Hot mics.
Welcome back to the show. Just real quick, wanted to go over our mission statement. It's to help people create a life of abundance by shifting mindsets, implementing proven systems, and facilitating a community of action takers. I was doing some reading on the hierarchy of needs.
Yes.
In
Maslow's.
Yeah. And they were talking about people having a transcendent purpose.
Yes.
How they believe because of the society we no longer have the in our core we're no longer hunting food and things like that, right? So those things are
most of our basic needs are met.
They're met.
Food,
right?
shelter.
So the need for a purpose and the need for community are working their way up that chart.
Yes.
And it's not the same chart as it would have been for primitive man. So
yeah, that's a good point. Caveman had a different chart of needs.
He wasn't going out there trying to figure out where he belonged.
No, right.
Yeah. And so that's very important for today, people where we are today, society and things like that. We don't have to think about where food's coming from and and that sort of thing. And so we're trying to find a place to belong, and we're trying to find a purpose.
Yes.
And I think that's two things that we deliver here at Right Path, because it's not just the vehicle that we're providing. It's the vehicle's allowing you to fulfill a purpose, and that's going to be different for every single person, right?
One of the things I get excited about is seeing people understand how simple this business is.
Yes.
Is that they realize, like, I'm going to mention Moni, and she's going to be highlighted several times throughout this month, and she'll be our case study, I believe, at the end of the third week of this month. But she's one of these people that just, now that every time I see her, she walks up and hugs me, and she just says thank you.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, for what? And she goes, because you've changed the trajectory of my life. She said, I really thought that I was going to be working for like the next 22 years.
Yeah.
And
she works hard.
Yes, she does. Oh my God, she slays, and she's great at what she does, and she likes what she does. But she said, "Look, I wanted to at least have the freedom to choose whether or not I had to continue to work that hard for the next 22 years. Sometimes you can just mentally get exhausted just thinking about what's coming up. Yeah. You're not physically exhausted, but just mentally like, oh my gosh, I just need a break.
Yeah.
And what she did is she came in. She had never bought a single family house outside of her personal residence. She knew what that process was like, but she's like, well, I mean, how do I do that over and over and over again? And I'm like, no, that's not what you would do.
No.
It's that sorta, but it's not. I mean, it's like it's that in the fact that you understand that buying a house, your house is not going anywhere. No one's going to steal your house. I mean, there's, it's not like investing in something that rises and falls. It's not like investing in oil futures or gasoline or, any kind of commodity or stocks that you don't have any control over, don't necessarily understand. And she's financially very savvy, right? Because she's a CPA. Obviously. She does finances for Fortune 500 companies. She helps convert those numbers into English, basically. And she's brilliant at it. But she's like, you know what? All I did is you showed me to do, step 1, and I did that, then step 2, and I did that, then step 3, and I did that, step 4, and I did that. She goes, it was really just as simple as like, here's how much money I have to invest. Let's put it to work. And she goes, I've already doubled the amount of money that I put into it. But not only has she captured equity, she's going to get paid 5 different ways. She's going to get equity pay down. She's going to get, which means that every time a tenant makes a payment, it pays her interest, it pays her taxes, it pays her insurance, it pays down her principal. So it increases her equity, and then then there's money still left over.
Wait a minute, is that legal?
Yeah, it's legal.
Is that legal?
Yeah, and then she gets to depreciate that asset. Then that asset, even though the government says you get to depreciate it, it's actually an appreciating asset. And then so this year, we know what the value of her property is.
Yes.
Next year, we know it's going to go up 5 to 7%.
Yes.
And the reason why we know that is because it's a property that she bought that's way below the median home price in Houston. It's a property below replacement cost in Houston. And so all she had to do is say, hey, I can put some of the money that I've got into this property. Now, she didn't want to pay it cash because that actually reduces your rate of return. Yep. And that's sometimes people have broken mindset. And it's easy if I put it to you like this, hey, would you rather make 12% on your money or would you rather make 20% on your money?
Everybody says 20.
Everybody says 20. However, some people don't do the math. They'll say, well, I'd rather pay cash. If I've got $150,000 and I'd rather buy a $150,000 house for cash, and now they've got all their money in it, but then they have no leverage.
Exactly.
If you buy that house for only $30,000 and you borrow the other $120,000, and we teach you how to do that, and it's not like buying your own primary residence.
Yeah.
When you're putting 20% down, what's great about a single-family house is it's a self-collateralizing asset, which means I had a guy I was talking to yesterday, been a buddy of mine for a bunch of years, and he goes, hey, man, do you know of anybody that I could borrow like $25,000 or $50,000 from? And I'm like, for what? Depends on what it's for, right? Yeah. And he goes, well, I've got this business, and I'm like, well, is there going to be any collateral? And he goes, there's not really any collateral. And I'm like, it's this idea. He's got a business, but it's not. And I'm like, well, first off, sometimes it's harder to raise $25,000 than it is $250,000. Yeah. And then the second thing is like, you can raise money from a pawn shop if you've got something in there to pawn, exactly. Right? You bring an asset in there, they'll lend you against the asset. You bring a house to a lender, and that's an asset that they'll lend against. You bring an idea to somebody, and it's like,
you better be squeaky clean.
I mean, it's like,
yeah, absolutely. So what you said a minute ago brought my favorite real estate quote to mind. It's by Franklin Roosevelt. He says, "Real estate cannot be
like the former president."
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
He says that Franklin Roosevelt.
He says, real estate cannot be lost or stolen, nor can it be carried away. Purchased with common sense and managed with reasonable care, it is about the safest investment in the world.
Yeah, and that's not changed.
That's not changed.
Yeah, in fact, what you find is that more millionaires have been created through real estate than any other source. And what I find fascinating is that when people do create wealth through other means,
they go right to real estate.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at, when I think about rock stars, right? I mean, they typically have houses all over the world, right? I mean, it's like they immediately are putting money into real estate. And part of that is let's face it, they can go rent a hotel anywhere, right? It's not like they need, why do you need 7 houses around the world? Because
they park their money somewhere.
It's the investment that they know that it's going to rise in value. And so single family houses are rising faster than almost any other price point.
Absolutely.
When you're buying below median home price, when you're buying below replacement cost, they're averaging 5 to 7% appreciation on an annual basis. Now, if you bought that all in cash, means you're making 5 to 7% on your money. But if you put 20% down and borrow the other 80%,
leverage it 5 to 1.
Oh my God! It goes to 25.
You get to take that interest rate and multiply it by 5. People, It's so crazy. It's like 7%, 35%. Even if you hit the low end, 5%, 25%.
Yes.
Warren Buffett made an average of 19% throughout his career.
Yeah, you've looked it up, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. So, hello?
Yeah, right.
Hello.
Yeah.
Right? It's not crazy. And somebody asked me the other day, well, what happens when all those houses are gone?
Yeah.
I said, well, let me ask you this. What do you think's happening every year to the median home price?
Yeah, it's going up.
It goes up?
Yeah.
Well, how do you think happens every year to the cost of replacement?
Right.
Well, it goes up.
Yeah.
So you realize every year there's new houses that now qualify.
Do you know that there's fewer houses that rent for $1,000 a month this year than there were 2 years ago?
Absolutely.
Did you know? And you know that there'll be even fewer next year than there are this year.
Yes.
I mean, rental rates are going to go up.
Yes.
And what's interesting is people are, but Tom, what if the property taxes go up? What if my insurance goes up? Yeah, rental rates go up as well. And what I know long term is that as long as you're staying at the lower end of the market. Now, I don't mean I'm not a huge fan of Section 8, although I know another investor that has just done extremely well Section 8. What I don't like about Section 8 properties is they don't typically appreciate.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of retail activity. And these are things that when you hear them, they're common sense. What we call they're very practical. That's why we describe it as practical real estate investing. Things that if you want to invest just for cash flow.
2 minutes.
And one of the great best products out in the marketplace, when I say products, real estate type houses or structures, a duplex.
Yeah.
Duplexes are great from a cash flow standpoint.
Yes.
I know of one investor just recently bought a duplex, rents for $1,350 per side, so $2,700 a month, and this investor was able to buy this duplex for $150,000.
Wow. So it's PITI's what, 9 something, 1,100 tops?
Let's call it 1,200.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. Let's say, because here's one of the things people get caught up in is, Tom, what's the interest rate right now? And I'm
Who cares?
Yeah, right. I mean, you could borrow money at 10%. I mean, if I'm investing money at 30%, I could pay 15% on my cost of money.
Yes.
And it's like if you could borrow $1 billion at 15% interest and invest it at 30% interest,
would you borrow?
Would you borrow the $1 billion at 15%? Well, I don't know. I mean, when you ask it certain ways, it is. When sometimes if you ask it one way, people give you a no. You ask it a completely different way, but it's the exact same thing that you're talking about. People give you a yes. And so those are the kind of mindset shifts that we're looking at making. It's the reason why a lot of times people struggle getting from where they are today in order to where they want to be.
Yeah.
And I'd say we're going to talk about the top 3 reasons why people struggle getting from where they are today to where they want to be. And I guarantee you, unless you've been listening to us on a regular basis, you do not know what the top 3 reasons are. And we're going to talk more about that. If you want to join in the conversation, or if you want to call and ask a question, because we're also available here. A lot of times people are stuck with, well, how do I find the deals? Or how do I fund the deals? How do I analyze them? How do I find a good general contractor? Any of those things that you might be stuck. Getting from where you are now to where you want to be. Give us a call, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. Thanks for staying tuned. I'll be right back.
Mic's off.
Taxes. Just the sound of that word makes people cringe. At Anderson Advisors, we provide tax reduction through asset protection for real estate investors throughout the country. Our unique philosophy has CPAs, lawyers, bookkeepers, and estate planners with one common goal, helping you, the real estate investor. Check us out today at AndersonAdvisors.com, and don't forget to tell us you heard about us at Right Path Real Estate.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts.
Troy, what's up, man?
Insurance Group of Texas. 281.
I was thinking about you over the weekend, wondering what you've been up to.
That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick?
Hey, Daniel, if you're listening, absolutely.
Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
Nikki, hello?
That's foundationcheck.com.
1 minute.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts
I bought that
in
for
the
you.
U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can.
That's
Quest
going to
IRA
symbolize
is
that week
locally
in your
here
life.
Houston, Texas.
Forever,
At
man.
Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private
Nope, I
entities,
brought that for-
and much more.
got that for
Many
you.
of our clients loan money from their IRAs
was actually delivered
to
on
fund
Friday
real
when nobody
estate
was here,
deals
so.
all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice.
'Cause
However, we
I
do
saw
hold
that and I
free
thought about that
networking
week,
events,
right?
Yeah.
weekly
How it was
educational
just
classes,
crazy
and
as could
free
be.
consultations with an
But at the
IRA
end of the
specialist.
day,
For
it's all
more
happening
information,
Yes.
visit our
to-
website
It was a-
at
that will go down in history
or
as-
call us at 1-855-FUN-IRA.
You know, in a week like that, it reveals who you really are. You know, and I had this face on almost the whole time. And what's interesting is most people that was on the other side of that, they never had that face. You know?
Yeah.
No. So anyhow.
Yeah. Some people
Yeah.
don't have that face when they have every reason to.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You guys ready?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, fellas, here we go. Hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. All right, so I promised you something before the break. So for those of y'all stay tuned, here you go. So here's what I can tell you. The number one reason why people get stuck from where they are now to where they want to be is they have not clearly defined where it is that they're trying to get to. It's what they've decided is, hey, you know what? I want to go on vacation. But they have not picked a specific destination on where last week I was planning a vacation coming up, right? Don't want to get into a lot of the details about all, but you know what I started doing is I started researching, and I'm like, okay, well, do I want to go someplace cold? Do I want to go someplace warm? I mean, do I want to go? And you start looking at, what your different options are, and that's the tough thing is that people just say, hey, I want to be anywhere but here. I'm miserable where I am, or I'm satisfied, but I'm not. I'm surviving, but I'm not thriving.
Yeah,
and so they don't really clearly define, I want to have $3,000 a month passively coming in the next 5 years. Or I want to have, when I get to $6,000 a month, and then put a plan in place you have to say, hey, look, I'm going to eat that elephant. But you got to define exactly what that elephant looks like, and then piece by piece put the goal in place. Like, hey, quarter one, this is what I'm going to do. Quarter two, this is what I'm doing. Within this quarter, I got to break it up. This is what I'm doing the month, and this is what I'm going to do week by week by week by week. I mean, I put together a marketing plan about 2 weeks ago on Houston House Buyers. Yeah. It's a postcard campaign. So I started with, okay, who do we want to market to? And I bought a list that I created, and it's about 85,000 names on the list. Well, that's about $40,000 to mail it out. Well, I don't want to spend $40,000 in 1 week and then have all those leads. So I decided, hey, do I want that to be a 12-week campaign? Do I want that to be an 8-week campaign? I mean, what's my budget for marketing? And so I decided that, broke it up, divided the list into those chunks. But I started with the goal in mind. How many houses do I want to buy?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I want to, from our marketing, we were buying houses already from our online marketing. Now from our direct mail marketing, how many houses do I want to buy? Okay, I want to buy 4 houses a month from direct mail. That means I need to spend $20,000 a month. So I need to spend $5,000 a week. So that means I want to break up. That's 10,000 postcards.
Yeah.
So 10,000 postcards, that means I've got an 8-week campaign. But I started with the goal in mind. What do I want to accomplish? Most people don't start with that.
Yeah.
And we've seen people come into the weekend event, for example, that have said, well, now what we know is so many investors, y'all are doing a great job this morning. This is really over. Thanks,
David.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Yeah, there's plenty of great deals out there. Appreciate that. People will come to the weekend event and they'll say, hey, I want to do 10 deals next year, 10 flips, and I want to make $300,000 doing 10 flips. We're like, okay, so that's $30,000 per flip. What price range flip do you want to do? And they tell us $170,000. And I'm like, okay, and I start scratching my head. Because although you've set a specific goal, you need some help because everybody knows the 70% minus repair rule. And when you, on paper, all of that looks great. Yeah. I'm going to flip, I can find $170,000 houses. When that's an ARV, right?
Yeah.
So I can find those houses, I can flip those houses, and if I do that 10 times, make $30,000 per house, then I'll make $300,000 at the end of the year. However, you talk to somebody that's experienced, and they go, wait, that's not good. Talk to somebody that's done over 500 houses in the last 5 years, and they'll see some flaws in that. Yeah, and so that's me, because through Houston House Buyers and Quality Property Solutions, I've done over 500 houses in the last 5 years. And so borrow my experience, because there's only 2 ways to learn. You can learn through your own experience. Yeah. You can learn from the experience of others. You can learn from a book, which is learning from an experience of others. Yeah. You know, I'll make a statement, and I hear people in my mind, well, what about this? What about that? Yes, like we talk about the 4 ways to make money in real estate.
Yeah.
And that it's buy and hold, it's buy, fix, and flip, it's wholesaling, and it's being a lender, being the bank, right? And
but you didn't count subject to rep.
Yeah, I know, right? Which is another lending play,
or a combination of a couple.
Correct. Well, you didn't. Well, my dad's been a land developer for years and years. I'm like, yeah, that's a buy, fix, and flip play. Yeah. I mean, every single thing you can think of falls into one of those 4 different categories as it relates to real estate. So if you're not clearly defining your goal and then matching the result-producing activities to that goal, that's the number one reason why we see people aren't where they want to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. And what if, or they've given up on the dream of being able to retire. They think, hey, it's a 20-year goal, not knowing, because they're wrapped up into conventional wisdom, which says go to school, get good grades so that you can get into a good college, so you can get good grades, so you can get a degree, so you can get a good job, so you can work really
40 years. Roughly.
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it, too, is when people sit back and realize that plan isn't working, they're like, I didn't make the right choices. It's over.
Who do you turn to? Right. Who do you turn to? Because what you're going to normally turn to is your friends.
Yes.
And when you look at your top 5 friends, we hang out with the people that we're the most like, right? Yeah. And so we're the average of the 5 people that in terms of income, in terms of how we dress, what we drive, where we live. I mean, we're the average of the 5 people that we hang out with the most. And so we're going to turn to our neighbors and go, well, and they don't
They're in
know.
the same boat.
Right.
We're all in this sinking ship together.
Yes.
And what they don't realize is it's not too late.
No, it's not.
Over. In conventional wisdom, sure, that route is done, but there's other ways.
That's exactly. Well, and it's a lot of people think, well, all I got to do is just work a little harder.
Yeah.
And
I'll pick up a part-time job driving Uber after I work 10 hours a day.
Yeah, and the problem with that is that, I mean, I guarantee you this, that, I know that there's people out there today that are working as hard as an Elon Musk, or they're working as hard as Richard Branson, Sir Richard Branson. They're working as hard as any of these guys that are earning way more money.
Yeah.
And I just. Bob McNair just passed away this past week since we were on the air last, and so I've been reading a little bit about where did he make his money, because it's self-made.
Yeah.
He didn't come from a family of a lot of money. I mean, they read his biography, and there's a little bit. There was a lot of struggle there.
Yeah.
And born in Florida, and then raised mainly in North Carolina, and then moved to Houston with his wife, and they said, you were an overnight success. He goes, yeah, after 20 years of hard work. I mean, he started his first business. He started with a business partner and auto leasing, right? And it didn't go well.
Yeah.
And then he started his own, and that didn't go well. And it wasn't really until he started Cogen that he did really well, and then that took off really, really well.
Yeah.
And then he sold out to Enron, and apparently he didn't apparently they didn't pay him in Enron stock.
That's good.
Yeah, right. Or if they did, he cashed out. Yeah, cashed out of that at the right time. So I don't know the rest of that story. But you look at a guy like that, and there were some things that, again, success leaves clues, right?
Yep.
and he said, you can't go wrong doing what's right. That's one of the things that his dad always said. And then his mom said, hey, don't ever do something that you wouldn't want to see yourself on the front page of the newspaper doing, right?
I like it.
Yeah. So he just seemed like one of those good quality character guys. But I know other guys that work just as hard as a Bob McNair, but people have commented, hey, Bob McNair, you always have such a great attitude. Anytime I see you, you're always upbeat. You've got this incredible smile. You're always, like the kind of person that you want to be around. He goes, well, I want my word to be my bond. He goes, I always want people, what I want them to say about me is that he always did the right thing for the right reasons. And he goes, I've never met a successful person that had a bad attitude.
And see, a lot of people, they think, well, that guy's got a reason to have a good attitude.
No.
Right? He does now.
Yes.
But he didn't when he started.
No.
But you got to realize it's the attitude that got him there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a saying, it's attitude, not aptitude will determine your altitude.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So do you have to work hard? Sure. Do you have to develop some skills and talents along the way?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
But there's people that do that with a bad attitude that are still just doing that.
Yes. Well, here's one of the things that I recognize is that I can't control the weather, right? But I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't believe it's so cold outside today, and that turns their attitude sour.
Yeah.
It makes their whole, and like,
it'll ruin their day.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, you can't control that. What you can't control is your response to the weather, right? Which is your attitude. So when you can control your response to something, I can't control what happens to me on a daily basis. I can only control how I respond to those things.
Yes.
And what I recognize when I study successful people, most successful people have a great attitude.
Yes.
And it's the great attitude that leads to the success. It's not the great attitude as a result of the success.
Exactly.
And so I'm not saying that you can't have bad things happen. Well, Tom, I chose to have a great attitude today, and you won't believe how bad my day went that day. You know what, brother? It's okay.
Yeah,
There's another day tomorrow.
There is. You can start over.
That's exactly right.
Start over.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Jim Rohn is famous for saying that humans are the only species on the planet that can decide to change their life.
Yes.
Just in a simple second or an instant. You can change the trajectory of your life just by making a simple decision.
Yeah.
And we're the only species that have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a blessing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So here's what I can tell you is, first, decide where it is that you want to get to. And then number 2, develop a plan. So most people never decide where they're trying to get to. The second thing, most people spend more time planning their next vacation than they do planning their life. And how sad is that?
Scary.
So first, decide on the destination. Where do you want to get to? A year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now. Decide that first. Now, what I see is sometimes people will say, well, I want to make $500,000 a year passively within 5 years. And is that doable? And I would say yes, with this caveat. Do you have the skill set, and are you willing to put in the work? And most people are like, you don't understand the hustle I'm willing to do. Are you willing to
I'm about to 10X it, bro.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So in the vacation.
Hey, the music, Nikki, the music's playing? Yeah, it is. So the music says we're out of time. We're going to hold that thought.
We'll do.
About 10Xing it. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. It's Tom Perry and Daniel Gollinger.
My name has changed.
Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817.
You caught that you said it wrong the first time, huh?
I did.
That's funny.
I did.
What's up, Joe Hell? What's up, Mr. Silva,
Taxes.
Ryan,
Just
Justin?
the sound of that word makes people
So,
cringe.
I don't know
At
if you know
Anderson
Justin Long or
Advisors, we
not.
provide tax reduction
He's a
through
real
asset
estate investor
protection
focused
for
on the
real
south
estate
side of
investors
town.
Oh, cool.
throughout the country.
But,
Our unique philosophy has CPAs,
when we were probably,
lawyers, bookkeepers,
I
and
think he's a
estate
year younger
planners
than me.
with
When we were
one
kids, we
common
lived
goal,
literally.
helping the real
You could
estate
cut through a
investor.
field behind my
Check us
house and
out
get to
today
it, to
at
where his parents lived.
AndersonAdvisors.com.
Small world.
And don't
Yeah.
forget to tell us you heard about us at Right Path Real Estate.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you
Thanks,
purchase
Billy.
properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts, Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's
You got some angry faces.
281-569-4353.
What?
Sorry for whoever we upset.
Or online at benchmarkbrokers.com.
We got angry faces?
There were a couple of angry faces that popped up. Let's stay on the left side there, guys.
Coming apart.
If you're angry or sad, you're on the wrong side of that.
Due to our expansive
emoji.
soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations.
Aw, thanks
We're
for
not
that.
in the business of repairing
Thanks, Tim.
foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825.
Mr. Russo, what's going on?
346-702-3825.
You gonna buy a house, man? I got something for you.
Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning
the
and
Carpenters
evening.
were actually at
For
the
more
game.
information,
Oh, yeah?
call us
Yeah.
at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit
Talk
our
about getting the
website
most for
at
your
questira.com.
money, man.
Gee, no lie.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
You found or inherited a great
All right, 30
investment
seconds.
property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly,
What's going on,
what to
Jason?
do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
This is Business 1110.
All right, guys, hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Oh, I didn't realize how much gray I have on the tongue.
Just don't look down. Don't look down. Don't look down.
You know, they say those are wisdom hairs, right?
There you go.
Yeah. In fact, there was a quote I just saw that how do you get wisdom? And it's from experience. And I'll have to look up the quote. I'll share that on the show tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to try. I've got an attorney that I work with quite a bit.
Yeah, Kevel.
That does. Yeah, and Kevel and I were talking on the phone yesterday.
Okay.
And we're going to try and get together this afternoon. He goes, "Man, I'd love to come on the radio."
That'd be awesome.
And I'm like, "Well," I said, "You can come tomorrow." He goes, "I've got to be in court in the morning." He goes, "But Tuesday or Wednesday."
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. So I said I need to check with Nikki, and so he and I are going to get together today at about 3:30, and so I said, well, let's make that work. So if somebody wants to take the first step to putting a plan in place, or actually to setting those goals and then putting the plan in place, where would you send them first?
I would first send them to our website.
Yeah.
A lot of good information on there. There's a couple videos that we'd love you to watch to kind of understand what we do and what we're talking about.
Yeah, use that. Go to a Y Real Estate, right, in the upper left-hand corner, and watch it's about a 5-minute video, the $150,000 example.
If that doesn't help you understand what we do.
Yeah.
And mind you this, that's a retail deal.
Yes.
We don't typically do retail deals. We're doing even better than that.
Yeah, right.
So if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, if that gets your motor running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So, and check it out even further. Go to the events tab. Come to one of our free events, and let's talk a little bit about what your plan is and where you're trying to go. What we find, we were talking about before the break, is often people, even if they do have a goal,
yes,
they don't necessarily know how to get there. They're not quite sure what the best route is. And a lot of times people may not quite understand where they are.
No, right.
Right? You were going on vacation, and you know that you've got 5 days.
Yep.
You can go pretty much anywhere. But you didn't.
Sure.
Australia wasn't on your list.
Right? I considered it for a brief moment. And then but I know it's 17 hours to get there.
For a 5-day trip, that may not be the best move, right?
36 hours round trip, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So what most people need to also realize is, hey, what's your budget for your trip, right?
Yeah, right.
You can't just pick, you're not going to hang out in San Tropez if you're looking to spend $3,000 on a 5-day vacation, right?
30 seconds.
So knowing where you are and knowing where you want to be and finding a guide to give you a plan to get there.
Right.
And that's how you need to break that down. And
20 seconds.
Small bite-sized pieces.
So go to rightpathrealestate.com, watch the Y Real Estate, and then also register for our next event. It's tomorrow night. Be here at 6 o'clock.
10 seconds.
Register to let us know that you're coming, so we make sure that we have a seat available for you, and we've got materials. We're going to give you some free gifts. So go to rightpathrealestate.com. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow same time, same place.
See y'all there.
Bye-bye.
All right, fellas, mic's off. Have a good one.